Well, Ivor, here it is, a Sunday morning, and we are doing some checkup on a restoration forestry project. We've got on the north end of Wolf Lake Camp, just inside the north gate. And this one is really interesting, and it's especially interesting this morning. So this was a red pine plantation, and I wanted to convert it back to a natural forest rather than plantation, and we've been doing that in stages, not necessarily intentionally to return it or restore it to natural, but here at the end we have. And what we're looking at, Ivor, is a very wide spacing on the best of the red pine trees, and I went through and ribboned all the save trees based on spacing, crown size, overall tree form, quality, and whatnot. We also worked hard. The logging subcontractor worked hard at my direction to try to leave the tall regeneration, consisting of mostly maple. And it's hard to necessarily look at this abundance of maple that grows in the understory just about everywhere up here, and try to be able to identify which ones are of quality. But Steve Hafman, the feller buncher operator, he did a real good job, and he knew definitely to try to protect and leave all of the oak, like this pear right here. Not the greatest quality, but nonetheless, when he saw oak, he saved it. And there's a basswood. Ivor, you coming? Here you are, bud. Yeah, there's a basswood that was relatively well protected. It got a little bit scarred up from the skidding, unfortunately. So that may doom that tree from a quality standpoint, but it'll survive and be an ecological component of the stand anyway. These are really nice red pine trees. And even though I'm not the greatest fan of red pine in an unnatural abundance like agroforestry or tree farming, I do like, and the mill in Big Fork likes, high quality trees, a big diameter, and clear boards out of the bottom. Anyway, that's what we're finally, after all these years, probably 60 years in fact, of growing this red pine plantation, we're finally getting to that stage. And now we're going to take it out of a single species, single age rotation and let it naturally be a mix of species with quite a bit of vertical structure and species mix. The last thing I wanted to say about this morning, Ivor, is that there were 60-mile-an-hour winds through here last night, and the common wisdom is that you shouldn't open up a stand of pine with this kind of spacing, because the individual trees will be at risk from the wind. And I've always doubted that, because we just got done cutting 7 big hardwood trees across the road in an area that was just thick as heck, where the trees, could support each other. But the wind went right through these trees, and I don't see one that's even bent over. They're standing perfectly straight. So anybody that tells me that we can't be thinning like this on our red pine plantations to prepare them for natural regeneration and restoration, I think it's just plain wrong. And even if we do lose a few, we lose trees out in the middle of a dense forest anyway. I think it just has to do with localized wind gusts, shear winds up to, I don't know, 60, 80, 100 miles an hour. Anyway, Ivor, this is gonna be a really good looking natural stand of timber in just a few short years or even months. Over and out.